What is up, everybody, and welcome. I'm talking today about the best game I've ever played. It's literally the best game I've ever played, which is crazy to say that I didn't play it when it first came out. And then the 5 years after, I never even thought about it. Then I saw something saying, new trailer, and it was Hideo Kojima saying that he edited the entirety of the trailer. And I was like, ooh, I want to watch that. And I started to watch it, and I stopped and was like, no, I'm just going to play the game. I'll just beat the first one, then I'll watch the trailer. No idea if there's a second game coming out until that trailer. I've bought the game already. I've owned the game for probably 4 years. I got it on sale the year after it came out. Never touched it. Then the director's cut came out and went on sale for like $20 on PlayStation Market. And I bought that. Never touched it. So needless to say, that was probably the biggest mistake of my entire life because this game is unbelievable. I love Metal Gear Solid. I love them all. Although, if I'm being fully transparent here, the only one I've never played, other than the PSP, like Acid and all that stuff, I never played 4. I own it from a PlayStation 3, and I bought a PlayStation 3 to play it. Still haven't played it yet, but we'll get there. Don't you worry. Death Stranding. I don't even know where to begin. I booted this game up with the intention of playing it fully on my PlayStation Portal. That was my intention. I was like, this is like a walking simulator from what I remember people talking about. Never really watched anything, never really cared about it, other than the fact that Hideo made it. I didn't really know anything about it. If I'm being fully transparent, I let Hideo Kojima down by not being a fanboy day one. So I had the intention of playing this fully on my PlayStation Portal, and that lasted about 20 minutes, and I booted it up on the TV, and I got lost in it. I mean, completely just, it swarmed me. It is the most beautiful, well-executed, fun, just amazing game. This game goes above and beyond other video games. I know what I'm saying sounds crazy. It's the best game I've ever played. Before this video, and before I started playing Death Stranding, my favorite game of all time was probably Bloodborne, maybe Lies of P. You can make an argument for like Marvel Ultimate Alliance and those older games, or like Turok Evolution. Those are the kind of games that I loved. This game immediately, within a few hours, bumped its way up into the top 3. And after finishing it and realizing what it's done to me, it's my favorite game of all time. So what I'm going to do today is break down just what makes this game so beautiful. I'm not going to give you a full story detail. I'm not going to, bore you with going over the same stuff that people have 3-hour-long videos of. If you want to know the story, watch a video like that, or do the better thing and just go play the fucking game. It's 50 hours of your time, and it's beautiful. I also bought the novelization of the story, so I'm trying to get through that before I do any kind of story detail stuff, because if we're being honest, there's so much. There's so much to dive into with Hideo Kojima's games. They're crazy. They're beautiful. In the story, although you know what it is when you're playing it, the connections that you make with the game extend way beyond just the story. So we'll save that for a later date. But just really quickly on the story, very simple. You play Sam Porter Bridges. You are thrust into this world of BTs and Timefall Rain, and UCA connections, and it's visceral. It's crazy how good it is. I mean, you get to a point at the very beginning when you're walking, and you're like, oh, this is a complete vibe. That was the first time you start walking, it's a complete vibe. Then you get to that first story moment where you go to the incinerator with Igor and whoever else, and the BT shows up, and you're in like this cinematic that is so good. The story has these long cinematics that are well worth it. I'll take an hour and a half cinematic any day of the week from Hideo. It's that good. If you've played Metal Gear Solid, if you like those games, then you know exactly what we're talking about. Phantom Pain, the first like 3 hours of that game, you're crawling through a hospital. So if you play that game and you love that game and you know Hideo, this is to its core just beautiful. Anyway, like I said, I don't want to get too much into the story, but just play it. But as soon as you see that first, towering BT, and you see like the vibe of the dark rain and the handprints, I was immediately locked in. From that moment, I realized that this game was the equivalent of sitting on your back porch in the middle of the summer with just the heaviest rainstorm rolling in, and you're just sitting on your back porch drinking a beer. That to me is like my happiest vibe. You know what I mean? Not my happiest thing, my happiest vibe. Just chilling on my back deck, drinking a beer, storm rolling in, middle of summer vibe. That is this entire game. Picture your favorite place and your favorite season and your favorite thing, your favorite drink, and just put yourself in that. That's the entirety of this game. The time fall is brilliant. I love it. I love how they introduce it. I hear a lot of people talking about how the story repeats itself too many times. And to those people, I say, it's a fucking video game. He's not winning an Oscar. You know what I mean? He's not going for a Nobel Prize. He's making a video game. And people that have never played a Hideo Kojima game that are starting with this, that's fine. It's totally fine that some of the stuff gets repeated, or like a little bit of it doesn't make sense at the very beginning because it starts to at the end. Anyway, the vibes of this game. First of all, like I said, storm rolling in, beautiful. The atmosphere when you're walking around and the music starts playing by Low Roar or Silent Poets or whoever, I mean, it doesn't even begin. Like, the world is so beautiful. The music is so beautiful. It just turns this entire game from walking simulator, which is annoying that people are calling it that because there's so much more to it. It turns it from you just delivering a package from one place to another to genuinely being in, a beautiful cinematic movie, and you're just watching it unfold and you're controlling the character. I can't even begin to explain the vibes. You just have to play it. But the atmosphere, the music, I mean, it's beautiful. Everything about it is beautiful. I kept stopping to take like PlayStation photos. I was playing on PS5, taking PlayStation photos of like moments, which is crazy because it's like I'm playing the game. But I kept taking them and I was like, I'm going to make this my phone background. I'm going to make this my phone background because it's that beautiful and that good. Then whenever you get into like this atmospheric world with the music and the rain, the timefall, I mean, just walking is a beautiful thing in real life. Walking in this game it doubles down on the beauty of it. Then you start to see structures built by other players, which is the entirety of the game. That it's so good. The entirety of the game is based on creating connections. And when you're walking and a Low Roar song or like Pale Yellow starts playing or Don't Be Serious or whatever starts playing and you get caught in some time fall, but Kevin 312 from, South Africa has created a timefall umbrella for you, and you can hang out under there for a little bit or pass time or just sit and enjoy some music and watch timefall. It's so good. So seeing other structures like that and seeing the connections that people are making in between the actual gameplay, like in between the story, you're walking along and you're creating bridges for people, or you're creating timefall shelters, or you're creating ramps, or doing whatever for other people. It makes the game that much more beautiful because you're connecting with people that you can't see. And I understand that was the whole premise of the game and his idea, but I don't think he understands just how like visceral this is. It hit me so differently than any other game. I've played online games. I play Apex, PUBG, Rocket League. I play all that crap, right? I'm physically playing online with somebody. But there's something so different when you're in a time of crisis and you're out of battery. Your walking suit or your walking skeleton and your gas mask are out of charge. You're out of battery. And Kevin 312 from South Africa has built a charging station directly like 100 feet in front of you. And you can just feel that like this guy had this exact same experience in this exact same moment. This is beautiful. What I can equate this game to is back before like YouTube and the internet and all this shit was so big. When you bought a game and you needed help on that game, you would talk to your brother. You would talk to your, for me, it was my uncle who were pretty much the same age. He was playing Metal Gear Solid. I was playing Metal Gear Solid. We would figure stuff out. You were talking to friends at school. Yo, how did you beat this guy? How did you do this? Like, oh, I didn't know that there was rations there or whatever. It's the equivalent of that. When Zelda Breath of the Wild first came out, I remember specifically never playing a Zelda game, wasn't going to buy the Nintendo Switch. A buddy at work told me about the Switch, told me about Zelda. He was a hardcore fan, lifelong fan. I played Zelda, and I remember going into work because it was launch day or a couple days after launch, and he was like, yo, did you get to this shrine? I got to this shrine, and this is how I beat it. It was crazy because there wasn't like a manual at the time. There wasn't YouTube videos of it at the time, and this is just, 7-8 years ago. Things have changed so much where the day a game comes out, you can just go watch a tutorial on it or a video or a walkthrough or whatever because that's how the world works now. And with Death Stranding, there is no tutorial, right? Like you might not make it to the next, port where you're porting stuff to. You might not make it to the next UCA link, Unite or Not City or whatever. You might need that charging station. So if you have the material to build the charging station for somebody else who might be stuck in that same situation, it's just a beautiful shared experience without there being anybody around. That's what makes this game so crazy to me, is that Kojima thought of this, where he could have easily just made a third-person shooter that was online with a really good storyline and then multiplayer gameplay, and that's it. But instead, he gave us a game that will never be replicated. Yes, there's going to be a second one, and I'm sure it'll be pretty much the same, but it's still Hideo, it's still Death Stranding, it's still under that umbrella. Whereas we'll never get another game that can do this. Is that not crazy to you people? Like, we'll never get another first Death Stranding, and that's what kind of breaks my heart, that I didn't play this game until 5 years on. Because 5 years later, I kind of missed a lot of the stuff. Like, I missed the hype around it, or some of the structures that I'm running into have been there for 4 or 5 years or whatever. But they might not be, but I'm saying, in theory, they've been there for 4 or 5 years with, 2 million likes. And then I'm coming on board 5 years later when I could have been one of the first people crossing the bridge that Kevin 312 from South Africa made. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes me sad that I kind of missed that. But the fact that I can still experience that is amazing. The other thing is, if you do build a structure like that, you hit the like button and you throw a couple of likes to the guy that built it or the lady that built it. And then you move on about your day. And then the next time you boot up the game after you build the structure, you might have 20,000 likes from building a charging station in the middle of goddamn nowhere because somebody needed that or multiple people needed that. This game elevates the gaming experience in my book. This game takes just a normal basic idea of going from one place to another, walking from point A, point B with a package to deliver, and turns that simple concept into this grand experience where you're connecting with other people. The entire game and the entirety of the story is based around connections and the idea of these knots within one singular rope that connect everything together. That's why whenever you see the pictures from it or gameplay or whatever, the BTs have a connection. They have an umbilical cord that is connecting to the sky or to the beach. And he just took all these brilliant ideas and mashed them together to make one of the greatest stories that we'll literally ever see. The music, the vibe, the atmosphere, the gameplay, everything is beautiful and it'll never be replicated. And I can't wait for the second game, but I think that duplicating the experience is going to be great. And I know that it's going to be a new story and I'm very excited for it. And there's going to be new elements. I can't wait. But this will never be replicated. And like I say, it kind of breaks my heart that I'm 5 years late to this. I'm 5 fucking years late to this and it kills me. Anyway, so the gameplay, yes, you have your building of structures. Yes, you're walking a lot. Yes, you're taking on orders and doing inventory management and making sure that like you have the right equipment for going across the river and dropping a ladder, or going into a pit that has, gas and you need a gas mask, or having the right climbing equipment or whatever. It's a lot of that for sure. But then you get into like gunplay and the idea of connecting with everybody within the story and connecting these UCA not cities and these strands, and all of this connection that we're seeing within the game translates to the gunplay as well, because the idea is that you don't want to kill people. Like, this is supposed to be a passive game. Like, you're just a porter. You're not Solid Snake. You're not running around purposely trying to murder and kill people. That's not who you are. You're just a porter. And the simplicity of that, to me, also, again, extends beyond gameplay that we've seen in recent years. So when you do get your first gun, it's a bola gun. What's a bola gun? You shoot out it's basically a rope that you're lassoing people with. And that's what you're shooting at people. So you lasso them up and then you walk up and kick them. You knock them out. Because you don't want to kill these people. Because if you do kill some of these people and a BT comes around and they go necro, they explode an entire city, which is crazy. So he took a simple concept of you being a porter and connecting the world together via these bridges that you can build, via the UCA and these links and these not cities. He took both those ideas and mashed it together and was like, we're not killing people. That's beautiful. Like, that's beautiful. Because he could have easily been like, well, there's going to be gunplay to make it more interesting. Let's just have them killed. But if you kill people, there's repercussions. I accidentally killed a guy. I killed a mule one time. It was actually on stream. I accidentally killed him. And I had to figure out a way to get rid of the body. And the incinerator was too far away. So I carried him to this lake and threw him into it. And he got engulfed. And it's a whole story thing that I don't want to ruin for you. But like, those are the kind of things that you have to do. And I genuinely, on stream, I almost cried. I felt terrible that I killed a guy in the game. Because I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be Sam Porter Bridges, the murderer. I want to be Sam Porter Bridges, the greatest porter of all time. That's what I'm trying to be. So the gunplay, though, yes, you get the bola, you get a couple other weapons, and then you eventually get to a section in the game where there's terrorists that you have to actually kill. You don't have to kill them, but you mostly do. Or you can. And those guys, you get an actual gun for. But you get non-lethal rounds for a lot of these guns too. Or you get like this maser gun, which is like a electric shotgun that knocks people out. Or you get stun grenades and that kind of stuff. So that gunplay, it's third person, Hideo Kojima's shooter. It's supposed to be kind of stealthy. You get your first official weapon is this rope to walk up and like knock people out and strangle them. And that's great. The gunplay is not as good as like a Metal Gear Solid, but it's still pretty good. And then for the BTs, which are beach things, which are the like I said, I don't want to do too much story stuff because just go play the fucking game. But they're the people that are in between basically life and death, and they're at the beach. And then they're in our world. It's seeping over. And they're in the time fault, and it's beautiful, and you should play the game. The The BTs, you throw hermetic grenades at them or you shoot hermetic rounds at them and they use your blood. So you have blood bags and that's your weapon with those. Or later on in the game, you get a device that you can cut the umbilical cord that links them to this world essentially and sends them back to the beach, and then they can cross over or however you want to describe it. So the gunplay is great. The gameplay overall is great. Like I said, there's a lot of walking, and that's okay because they make the walking, the goal of walking well worth it because you're connecting the world together physically and, basically through like an extended Wi-Fi if you want to consider the chiral network that. And then you have the gunplay, which is great. And then you have like the sneaking around BTs and holding your breath. And you have BB on your chest telling you where the BTs are. And you have this, it's called an Otodeck or an Autodeck or this robot on your shoulder, which the only reason I ever wanted to play Destiny when that game first came out by Bungie, I know this is a little off topic, but was because of the little robot guy that you got. I love a good robot partner. That's sick to me, especially when they're like just a little thing. So the Autodeck or whatever is killer, and BB being on your chest, controlling it and telling you where stuff's at. I love it. I love everything about it. Then you get, the characters in this are great. The connections that you make with them. Deadman, the casting, the entire casting of this is great. Deadman, played by Guillermo del Toro, which is, first of all, his story is not terribly in depth, but his character is great. Then you get Die Hardman, which a lot of these names, yes, they're on the nose, and yes, they might be stupid. But again, it's Kojima, and they're that name for a reason. Like, Deadman is Deadman, and you'll find out why, because you'll play the game. You'll find out why, but it's like a good name. It's just his name. And why make things too simple? Why call him, Steve Harrington whenever he could just be Deadman? You know what I mean? The idea isn't their names. Or like Nick Eastman or whatever, and he's like the head of East Knot City. Like stuff like that. It's very on the nose, sure, but it's still great and beautiful, and it doesn't fucking matter what their names are because at the end of the day, you're not playing it to make a great name. Like, that's what's funny about people complaining about the names that I've seen. So after I played this game, I had a bunch of videos lined up of like story videos and in-depth reviews of the game and stuff, but I went to beat the game first to form my own opinion on it. And then I went and watched all these, and it's just people complaining that it's a walking simulator or the names are stupid and too on the nose. And it's like, who cares? But like with Bloodborne and Dark Souls and those kind of games, you don't even get a name. Like the Tarnished one, like that, you don't even get a name. You're just a random generic guy. The Tarnished one, like, in this one, at least they get names. Die Hardman's a cool fucking name. And then you find out why his name's Die Hardman, and you're kind of like, okay, yeah, sure. And plus, this is like a post-apocalyptic after the Death Stranding has happened. So who gives a shit what their names are, dude? You could change, if the Death Stranding happens and you're meeting new people out in the world and you're a porter, who gives a fuck? Sam's name might not even be Sam, who knows? But the casting is great. So you got Guillermo del Toro. Obviously, you got Norman Reedus, who genuinely I never cared about Norman Reedus. I watched The Walking Dead first 2 seasons, but he was never I was never like, oh my god, Norman Reedus is amazing, like some people that love The Walking Dead and stuff. But he also didn't really turn me off to the game. I just didn't connect with the game whenever it first came out, which is stupid of me, and I regret everything about it. But Norman Reedus in this, since then, I'm like, this guy's dope. Like, this guy's great. He barely has anything to do, but he does it so well. It's unbelievable. And then, obviously, the man, the myth, the legend, one of my favorite actors, Mads Mikkelsen, is in this game. And he has some of the best story parts, for sure. He sings this lullaby in it. And whenever you figure out the story and the lullaby actually hits, like the real song, fucking tears, man. It's just such a good game, man. The director from Drive, and God Forgives, I think, is the other one. I'm pretty sure he plays Hartman. I'm pretty sure that's who that is. But I mean, the cast is great. The acting's great. The storyline's amazing. Kojima did such a beautiful job with this game, and I can't wait for the second one. Like, I genuinely can't wait. Now, I know I didn't really talk much about story or anything, but I just wanted to give my thoughts and opinions on the stuff in the game that resonated with me the most, and like I said, took gaming for me to a different playing field. Like, this game ascended above what I know as games. Like, when I'm playing a game like a Rocket League, an Apex, or a PUBG or whatever, I'm just playing a game. There's nothing to show for it. You don't beat anything. You might get a win. You might lose. You spend some money. You log out. A game's a game. Then you go from that to like a Dark Souls or whatever, where I'm like trying my hardest to beat a boss or to beat the game. And then I do, and it's like, yes, I feel accomplished. But all the story stuff, which the stories in those are great, don't get me wrong, but all the story stuff in that is like found. Like, it's a lot of like piecing things together, whereas this is more cinematic. This is more like straight up beautiful. And like I said, this game has ascended itself to a different, like, I wouldn't even, it's a game, obviously, but I think this is so much more. I genuinely believe that. And if you hate this game, I think that you just either stop playing it too soon, you just didn't connect with it and pay enough attention, or maybe you're just heartless, dude. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I'm telling you, this game, Death Stranding's best game ever. #1 game by far, and I cannot wait for the second one. I'm going to make a whole new video for the second one and breaking down both the trailers and talking about my thoughts on that and how excited I am for it. I already pre-ordered the collector's edition because I can't fucking wait. I'm trying to find a collector's edition of the first game for PS4 on eBay. I want that BB. I want to put BB right here in this little messy cove with some comic books and PlayStation 2 stuff. That is the video. Go play this game. It's beautiful. The story's amazing. Take 50 hours of your time. Put down whatever shit game you just bought from the last year, because most of the games that come out nowadays are just recycled garbage or just straight up bad, or they're AAA nonsense, or they're free-to-play trash. So put all that shit down. Set Marvel Rivals down. Set down Apex Legends for 60 hours. And go lose yourself in Death Stranding. Right now I'm on the journey to platinum this game. I've never platinumed a game before, but I'm platinuming Death Stranding because it fucking deserves it. It has earned my attention. It has earned my time. This game is beautiful, and this is what AAA games should be. AAA games should be this. They should be this beautiful, just story-driven narrative where you're not having to do online shit. You're not doing microtransactions. You're just playing a beautiful game. That's the other thing I love about this, actually, before I end this video. I'm so sick nowadays of games coming out and then immediately there's an update, or a game comes out and they're adding crap constantly. Or, you know, you have to buy X thing, or like with Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2, it was pay to win. I love when they just release a game and that's the game. That's why I love FromSoft so much, because they release a game, it's just a game. Yes, there will be an update here or there or whatever to fix a bug or whatever, but it's just the game. Bloodborne for 10, 11 years has just been a game. That's it. There's been one DLC. That's it. We don't need more. Death Stranding is beautiful as it is. It doesn't need anything else. It doesn't need updates constantly. Yes, there's a director's cut, and that's all great, and I love it. I love when a game's just a game, baby. That's all I want in the world. Anyway, that's the video. I will catch you in the next one. Look for my Death Stranding 2 hype video, because that's what I'm going to call it, Death Stranding 2's hype. And then I got another video releasing about Marathon and some other stuff. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the stuff, and follow me on Twitch too, because I stream some of this crap. Some of these games that I'm excited about, sometimes I'll stream them. So go follow me over there and check it out. I appreciate everybody watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.